Hey, good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to Hobby Evolution 1K5, episode 1005. Here we are. Had a nice little weekend getaway to Sterling Rock Falls and Deer Grove, Illinois. My cousin Alex got hitched. So, little wedding fun on Saturday night. I was thinking about, speaking of Saturday, Saturday, I was thinking about songs that are about the days of the week. Like you always think Monday. It's like, oh, it's Monday. Got a case of the Mondays. You think Manic Monday. And I was thinking, like, what other days of the week have songs? And is there a day of the week that gets neglected in songwriting? And there are. You have Monday, you have Manic Monday. And Monday's a good word because it also rhymes with another day of the week, Sunday. Tuesday, and I was thinking, I think Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday get neglected in songs, but that's not the case. Tuesday actually has some good songs. Ruby Tuesday. Is it Tuesday's Gone? Leonard Skinner, great songs. Wednesday gets neglected. Is there a song about Wednesday? Thursday? There might be some Thursday songs because Thursday I feel like rhymes with other words. Of course, Friday's a big popular one because you're working for the weekend. It's Friday. Friday, I'm in love. Saturday, the aforementioned Saturday. What else is out there? Sunday's got some good songs. Sunday, Bloody Sunday, U2. Oh, we forgot Saturday in the Park by Chicago. Let's see. Katy Perry has a Friday song. Mamas and Papas have a Monday song. But yeah, there's like no songs about Wednesday or Thursday. Wednesday and Thursday are the neglected songs. I think Simon and Garfunkel had a Wednesday song. I don't know it. I'd probably know it if I heard it. Let's see. Here's an article from Yardbarker. The best songs with a day of the week in the title. Monday by the Mamas and Papas. Rainy Days and Mondays, another oldie from 1971, The Carpenters. Monday Morning by Fleetwood Mac. The Boomtown Rats did I Don't Like Mondays. Blue Monday. Oh man, I forgot about that's a good one. Blue Monday. I like Orgy's version better than New Order. New Moon on Monday by Duran Duran. These are all Monday songs. Manic Monday, of course. Now we go to Tuesday. Ruby Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon. Tuesday's Gone. And then we go to Wednesday. Wednesday Morning, 3 a.m. by Simon and Garfunkel. I don't know that one. That's the only Wednesday on this list from Yardbarker. Then we go to Thursday by Jim Croce. Thursday's Child by David Bowie. Those are two. I'm not familiar with either of those. Friday, I'm in Love by The Cure. Last Friday Night from Katy Perry. Friday by Rebecca Black. And then we go to Saturday, another Saturday Night by Sam Cooke. Saturday in the Park, great song, Chicago. Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, Elton John. Yes, I forgot about that one. Saturday, Bay City Rollers. Sunday, we've got Sunday Morning by the Velvet Underground. Pleasant Valley Sunday, that's a good song, The Monkees. Sunday Morning, Coming Down by Johnny Cash. I don't know if I'd know it if I heard it. Sunday Bloody Sunday, U2. Lazy Sunday, that was an SNL skit. So Wednesday and Thursday, I think, are largely any songwriters go write a song about Wednesday or Thursday. So it's Monday morning. What's going on? Going to talk a little bit about eBay because I noticed something over the weekend and very similar to a statement I always make. Pay attention to what's not selling is just as important as what is selling. Kind of goes in reverse. It does. Well, not kind of. It does go in reverse. We collectively, generally speaking, we generally ask the question, why are my eBay sales down? But we don't ask that when our eBay sales are up. It's like, oh, this should be normal. And it's not. So when your eBay sales are up, ask that same question. So I have a little insight, anecdotal, no stats attached today, little anecdotal thoughts on why my eBay, because my eBay sales were way up over the weekend. They were down significantly pretty much all of October up until this weekend. My sales were, I was on pace to make less in October through the first like 10, 12 days than I was in July, in which I was out of town a third of the month. And the 2/3 that I was home, I was moving. So that was concerning. But the ship was righted over the weekend. Hopefully that continues. But I do have some insights, and I know my sales numbers will rise. Topps Pro Debut is out. There are cards in the wild, so not going to be delayed again. So hopefully, I haven't received my shipping notification. I'm expecting a shipping notification this morning from Blowout Cards. That's where I ordered my case of Topps Pro Debut, and should be on my doorstep Wednesday. So that should boost sales. And I'll go into that a little more in depth today. Had a wedding over the weekend. My cousin Alex got hitched. So Alex is I guess he would be my second cousin. So he's my first cousin Michelle's son. I don't do the first cousin removed thing. Like some of my relatives do that. And it's like, well, he's your third cousin removed, second removed. I don't understand that. So I just say second cousin. So they got married. Really fun wedding. I was a little worried at first because, like, he's a lot younger than me. I don't know him that well. So like my cousin Michelle, her and I were like brother and sister girl. We were like best friends, brother, sister growing up. Our teachers thought we were brother, sister because we have the same last name. So we were like best friends. But like your friend, you don't know your friend's kids, right? Like your best friends, but the kids, it's like, yeah, they're over there. So I was a little worried because he's in his early 20s. They are in their early 20s, and it's going to be young. I don't know what family's going to be there. So we walk in. It was just my mom and I that went in, and my cousin and her husband and other son. And then I look around. It's like, shit, I don't know anybody else in this room. I'm like, what the hell? So we sit down. And as we sat down for the ceremony, I'm kind of, looking around, and I see a couple faces that I know, but I'm like, damn, I might be leaving this reception early because I just don't know anybody. But then, like, after the ceremony and we go out, I think my family was just like hanging in the back by the bar, I think is what was going on. Because then all of a sudden it's like, oh, all these people. So had a great time. Really fun. My cousin married into a Mexican family, and they had I don't know what a traditional Mexican wedding is, but it certainly kind of like my wife and I at our wedding. It was technically a Jewish wedding because my wife is Jewish, but it was like not a traditional Jewish wedding. It was like a hybrid. Like I smashed the glass. That was fun. I always wanted to say Ompa, but that's Greek, not Jewish. So we had like certain things that were, in the Jewish wedding, but it wasn't like a traditional Jewish. So I'm guessing this wasn't like a traditional Mexican wedding, but it had roots based around a Mexican wedding. It was fun, like some of the dances, songs, the food, man. Oh, taco truck, man, like authentic Mexican taco truck. So you go out and you get your tacos from the taco truck, and then inside they had all the fixins. That was good. Good food, good beer, good company. So it was good seeing some family, friends. I'll tell you what, though, I can't hang with the kids. Like I said, they're in their early 20s. So like obviously all of their friends, it seems like the younger you are, the bigger the crowd you're in, especially when it comes to like a wedding. Like you're 22, it's like this gigantic, huge wedding with all your friends. And then like my wife and I, we got married how old were we? 35. By the time you're 35, you're like, I don't want or need any more friends. So it was a big wedding because my family tree is a forest. So, but like it was pretty small friend wise, and that's not the case when you're like in your early 20s. So I did get on the dance floor though. I did get on the dance floor, showed off my old white man moves, and like one song, and I'm like, okay, I think it's time for me to leave. Went back to the hotel, had a beer at the hotel bar. I was like in bed by 9. So that's when you're 40, or just old like me. Some people, I mean, there were people that were, in their 40s on the dance floor having fun. Just not me. But I did have fun. So that was my Saturday night at the wedding. Before I hit the wedding, though, I stopped in Freeport. Oh my God, my time management skills on Saturday were atrocious, and like I knew going into the weekend what I had to do, so I don't dress up very often. I'm wearing like hoodies and sweatpants and these shirts. That's what I do. That's what I wear. And I get fat, and so I grow out of shirts and pants. And so like shit, I hope I have dress wedding attire that I can fit into. And I knew that like for the week leading into Saturday. What did I not do? Prepare. Get clothes ready. What also would have helped, like having my wife pick it out, because I don't know how to dress myself. So that was just one of multiple problems that I had with my time management on Saturday morning. I slept in, and it's like all I got to do is do a few things. And I forgot about the whole garage thing. Remember, all the shit was in the garage, and Saturday morning before I leave, I've got to put all this shit back. Forgot about that part. So I come in, do my show, go ship some stuff, and then all of a sudden I realize, oh shit, I've got to so I met Kyle in Freeport. I had to get the NASCAR like consolidated, because it was just kind of, there were piles, there were small boxes. So I had to get that consolidated and take it up to my car. I had all the crap that was out in the yard still from the garage floor being finished, and we could finally put stuff on it on Saturday. And I had to pick out clothes. So I'm like, oh, I've got this much time, not realizing, oh shit, I've got to meet Kyle at 1 in Freeport. Crap, it's over and out. Like shit, I've got to like be on the road at 11:45. So I am like not doing time, like time math is not working correctly on Saturday for me. And so I get around to it. I consolidate the stuff, get Kyle's NASCAR in the car, realize shit, I forgot that I have to get this stuff in the garage. It was still kind of like raining off and on, and everything was like soaking wet. So I put a few, like 2 or 3 things in the garage, and I'm like, I'm just going to do the rest tomorrow. Like I'll be home by noon tomorrow. So Sunday. Take a shower. So I didn't want to, do that. So then I take a shower, and then I go pick out my clothes. So I'm like, fortunately, like the first shirt I picked out, I'm like, hey, it fits. Not snug. I like it. All right, let's go. So now I have to find a pair of, like, okay, I'm going to wear this jacket. And so I'll wear like brown pants or blue pants, navy blue pants, and brown shoes. I had the shoes, put on the pants. So when I put everything together and I'm like kind of walking around, I'm wearing like the shirt I'm wearing is kind of like pink. Remember, I don't change my own oil. I can wear pink. So it's kind of like a pink shirt. I didn't wear a tie, because that just, when you add a tie to the equation, like now you have to match the tie to everything else. and you're going to hear why that's not good for me. So I've got the pink shirt, my brown belt. The pants, my friends, were not navy blue. They were black. And then I have black socks and brown shoes with like a gray coat. And I'm like, what the? Even I recognized the faults. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to change the pants. And I did find a pair. The first navy blue pants I found did not fit. Did not fit. I've got a significant waistline to cut before I can get back into those. So I did find another pair. Ooh, fit great. Isn't there? There's just something. I just love the feel of a pants that fit just right after trying to squeeze into a pair of tight pants that you haven't been able to fit in for 5 years. And now you find the perfect pair. Oh, this is nice. So blue pants, brown belt, pink shirt, gray-ish coat, brown shoes. I didn't realize until I was halfway to Freeport, I'm wearing black socks. Like, oh, you got to be fucking kidding me. I'm like, I can just stop at Walmart and get a pair of brown socks, but I'm running behind. I told Kyle, I'm like, I'm sorry, but I've got can we meet here? I'm on a time crunch. And it all worked out though. Got Kyle his NASCAR. We met in Freeport. I did not have time to hit Walmart for the brown socks. I did not have time for that. So I did have to rock brown shoes, black socks, blue pants. I look like a freaking moron. So before I left though, my wife slept in. She had a glass of wine on Friday night. It was her birthday. And so she slept till 11:30. And so I go up and I'm like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm just tired. So she gets up and so I walk in with my bow put together outfit. And I'm like, I have to go. I literally don't have time to change. I think I was still a few minutes late to meet up Kyle in Freeport. And then I didn't get to, I was supposed to be at the hotel in Rock Falls at 2. I think I got there at 2:15, which was okay. We still had time. Before I went, I did have to stop in what did I get? I had to get, lunch. I didn't get lunch. Oh, I think that was after I met Kyle, though. I think I waited until after. Yeah, because I got that in Freeport. So I got some water, a sandwich. Man, I lucked out. So I was gonna hit a drive-through, but I'm like, you know what? I need to grab a 6-pack of beer for a little pregame, right? And I'm like, I don't have time to make 2 stops. I can't stop at McDonald's and the gas station. I need to just have a gas station lunch. Something to tide me over until reception dinner. So I stop at a gas station in Freeport, and I'm like, I should have went to Casey's because I know what Casey's had. I go to Casey's because I know what they have, and I love their pizza. I like everything else. But I went to this. But the problem with Casey's in Freeport, coming from where I'm coming from, the north, it's on the left-hand side, and there's a stoplight. So I have to sit, turn left, and then when I leave, I have to turn left again. Left-hand turns are no good, especially on busy highways with stoplights. So I'm like, I need to find a gas station on the right-hand side. So easy in, easy out. So it's like a Shell station. It's kind of a shitty looking gas station. I'm like, oh, fuck, what am I doing? So I go in there, and luckily or unluckily, luckily for me, I didn't get sick, but they did have a container of fresh sandwiches, which is a roll of the dice, man. Oh, man. You're playing Russian roulette from your digestive system. They had tuna sandwiches. And I'm like, I don't know. That's all they had. And homemade tuna, not store brand that it's okay, you could probably get away with you don't know what you're getting with a homemade tuna sandwich, how long it's been there. So I rolled the dice, played a little Russian roulette with the gas station fresh tuna sandwich. It was okay. It was edible. I consumed it. I did not get sick. That could have been bad. Could have been bad. I got my six-pack. So when I got to the hotel, I did have enough time. So I would have had enough time to go to Walmart. I didn't think I would, though. I didn't think I would have enough time to have a beer at the hotel, but I did. So I had a pregame beer at the hotel. And the reception was fun. Wedding was fun. Reception. Well, actually, the weddings are not fun. Receptions are fun. Weddings are like, oh, just get it over with. Actually, this was like one of the quickest weddings I've ever been to. It was fast. It was like boom, boom, boom. Said a little prayer, did like the super fast vows. And then all of a sudden, the lady was like, I don't know if whoever officiated, the officiant said, "You may now kiss your bride." I'm like, really? That's it? We're done? Sweet. You know, I hate going to weddings where it's like, and now the mother of the bride will be performing this song, and now the sister of the bride will say a prayer, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh my God, can we just sign the damn marriage license and get it over? We're all here for the reception. We're not here for the ceremony. Like, do this on your own. That's what should happen. Weddings shouldn't be for the if you want to go to the wedding, and I guess I could have chosen to not go to the wedding, but I think it's just like it's just something that you do. It shouldn't be like, let's change the wedding tradition. Like the ceremony, like do your own little ceremony with like mom and dad, brother and sister, and then the reception is where everybody comes to. Like the ceremony, like does anybody actually want to go to the wedding ceremony? No, they're all the same. The vows come from the same website that somebody Googled. The perfect wedding vow. The wedding prayer. Like it's all just, find it on Google. We all know it. We've heard it all before. Nothing new. Nothing to see here. But a good time was had by all. We've got Harlan in the house. What's going on? Good morning. David is here. What's happening? George is in the house. What's going on, George? Red Light 34 is here. What's happening? Philly Joe, good morning. Sunny and shiny in Philly. Let's go. It is cloudy and cold in Madison, Wisconsin. Kyle, good morning. He found, like right off the bat, who was Alan Kulwicki? I had to Google it. I'm like, who in the hell is Alan Kulwicki? And he died in like 1993. So an autograph, like there's probably not too many Alan Kulwicki autographs out there. Max, what's going on? Good morning. JW's in the house. Good morning, Boston Smoke. Good morning, Dan. And he even says it in Korean. I like it. Low Roller says your poor Bears lost again. You know, I'm just kind of rooting for losses now. I'm rooting for losses. Get that number 1 overall pick. See the Bears front office might as well screw up another draft and another quarterback. Bears lost again. What an ugly game. Fields went out. I don't know if there's an update. He got injured late in the game. Tyson Bagent came in. Actually looked pretty good. I think he completed like over 70% of his passes. I think he was 8 for 14 or something. So yeah, Bears suck. They're 1-5. I think they're still in line for I think they're still kind of several teams in that like 1-win category, but we're only 5-6 weeks into the season. Red Light says, hit that like button. Thank you, sir. Harlan doesn't like Mondays. I like a Monday much more now than when I worked in the office, because now it's like routine. Like Saturday, Sunday, it's like, okay, it's kind of like free for all. Now Monday, I'm back to my routine. Herman, what's happening? Good morning, Hobby World. Herman's in the house. Kyle says Tuesday's Gone and Saturday Night Special are two of my all-time favorites. Zach and Porter in the house. Good morning. You must be subcontracting videos now with your time management. My time management sucks. Yeah. I talk shit about all these subcontractors. They're never on time. Just like me. Never on time. Connie Mack looks like Joe Biden. You sold a Connie Mack look like Joe Biden card. I don't know what the hell that means. Red light. How can I get a couch card holder? There you go. Merle and Red Light 34 are in the chat at the same time. Let's get them together. Let's get Merle a couch card holder. Monday, na 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 na. A Korean dude just did 7 days a week. Sunday morning coming down. Who's written by Chris Christopherson. Amazing backstory on how he got the song to Johnny Cash to perform. Interesting. Okay. Hobby News Daily. Ziggy Knows in the house. Good morning. Hall of Fame card collector goes, what new product? So that's in my title, the impact of new product on eBay sales. And that's kind of what I'm going to talk about today and why my eBay sales saw a big spike over the weekend. Billy Joe says, all I need is more cowbell. Macklemore Wednesday morning. I don't know if I know. Again, that's probably a song. Many songs I know. I just don't know them by name. I'll go through. Sometimes I'll get nostalgic, especially late 90s butt rock. And I'll look at like the charts of the butt rock from like 2000, 2001. And I'll see these song names and I'll be like, I don't know that song. And then I'll fire it up. I'm like, holy shit, I haven't heard this song in forever. I love this song. I didn't know I loved it, but I do. So that's like how songs are with me. Like, I don't know that song. And then you'll say, oh, yes, you do. Like, that's how when my wife and I went to our first Pearl Jam concert together, we're driving down to Chicago and we're on the interstate at some point. And she's like, I just don't think I don't know any Pearl Jam songs. And I'm like, oh, you know Pearl Jam songs. You just don't know it. And she's like, no, and she's like dead set. She does not know Pearl Jam songs. She was wrong. And I'm like, let's fire. So we put Pearl Jam on. And so I went to Jeremy, which is like the most, and she's like, oh my God, I like this song, she says. And then like Better Man, like, you know, the mainstream ones. She's like, oh, I like this song too. And Daughter, oh, I love this song. I'm like, see, you know Pearl Jam. So that we we're doing our preliminary conversation on where we're going to go on vacation next summer or fall. And I'm like, I think Pearl Jam's going to be doing a European tour next year, which we've been like, we just need to plan a vacation. So we tentatively planned a vacation around the Pearl Jam European tour last year. And then something came up, we couldn't do it. Of course, 2020, we had already booked a trip to England and France for the Cubs Cardinals series in London. We're going to go to that. Obviously, that didn't happen. And then when they brought it back, last year, it's like, I have no interest now. Like, the Cubs sucked, and it's like, I don't have any interest. So yeah. So I'm like, Pearl, and she's like, you know, we don't have to schedule our trip around Pearl Jam. And I'm like, but if the dates work, we could. And she is okay with that. Like, we're not going to Europe to see Pearl Jam, but if dates align, we certainly would do that. We don't know what, like, we're still like debating, you know, where to go. You know, if we go, and it's kind of like time, if we go in the summer, we'll go north, like Sweden, that area. If we wait until like September, pretty much anywhere in Europe. Grinding for good. Good morning. Peter says, for auctions, what's better, 7-day, 10-day, or the buy it now 30-day thing? Okay, so buy it now all the way, 100%. Buy it now is the best option. If you do auctions, and I think auctions, there's just certain things. I hate auctions altogether. I was in a buying mood. I've been in a buying mood the last few days, and I've been getting steals at auction. Auctions are awesome if you're a buyer. If you're a seller, they suck. I did like, and I don't know where did I see this or hear this? My God, it was on some YouTube channel. I don't know which YouTube channel it was, but I liked their thought process. Oh no. It was the eBay Open. I'm pretty sure it was the eBay Open. And it was one of the sports card people they had on in one of their panels. They liked, if it was a higher end item, they liked 10-day auctions because it got 2 weekends in, which plays right into my feeling that buy it now 30-day and then roll them over is the best. Why? Because you're getting weekend after weekend after weekend when most people are buying. 7 days, you only get 1 weekend. But sometimes, if you're just throwing random auctions up, 7 days is fine. If it's something that, is a higher dollar item, which I don't know what that would be. I guess that's kind of subjective in your opinion. 10 days is probably better, but I think the best option is buy it now 30 days. Donald Davis, what's up? Good morning. Mark Marinello's here. Great weekend in Jets land. Did the Jets win? I didn't pay outside of the Bears. Again, I just don't watch. I don't follow football, and I don't play fantasy football, so I really have no reason to follow. And I don't really get into football cards. I did list some of my Mosaic. My Mosaic rip sucked, but I listed all of the Mosaic in my eBay store. All the flashy prisms. I think I sold, 4 or 5 cards. I sold the Chad Ryland rookie. I sold the Irvin Reactive Blue. So that's 2. I sold the Bijan this morning on a best offer. So that's 3. Let's see. Did I sell any other cards? I might have sold a couple that I'm just not. Yeah, so that's 3. So at most 5 of the 45 or 48 cards that came in that box. And most of them are $1.75 free shipping. So Mosaic football. Let's see. Victor's in the house. Good morning. Low Roller is waiting to win the lottery so I can finally get married for good. So are you married for not good right now, or I'm curious how winning the lottery will affect your marital status. That's a topic you should do a video on that. Why you're waiting to win the lotto to get married. Wait until you hit your 50s. Then you're the old people at the wedding. The music is too loud and you think twice on what you eat. Oh, no. And I'm getting close to that. Zach and Porter says, Mark is wise. After 40, getting ready for a wedding is like recreating Chris Farley, big man and a little sad. That's true. That's true. And my coat, so the jacket that I wore, all the jackets I have now are, it's almost reached Chris Farley, big man in a little suit song. I can't button it, but it doesn't look too bad. It's oh, that guy needs to lose a few pounds. That's how I look in my suit jackets. I don't look like Chris Farley, it's going to explode, but people are like, that guy needs to lose some weight. Not a lot of weight, but he could shed 15 pounds. He needs to shed 15 pounds. Maybe 20. Big Harv, what's up? Top of the morning. Mark says, did I hear brown shoes with black socks? I did, and here I just wasn't thinking. Because I know that's a huge faux pas. But I was in a hurry and I just grabbed a pair of socks. And for whatever reason, I knew I had to wear brown socks. I don't know why I even grabbed the black socks. I know. Zach, it's funny. My girlfriend and I look at each other when the music hits. Michael says the egg salad wedge sandwich is the kiss of death. I love, as long as they're like the pre-packaged ones. I love those. It's the fresh, like that Alice made in the back. Those are the ones I'm concerned about, especially when it's like any egg salad. I'd be very concerned about. I'd probably be more concerned about an egg salad sandwich because, like, tuna, like this tuna doesn't go bad, right? I mean, eventually it does. It's not honey. Honey never goes bad. Which, they had honey on the table, and damn it, I didn't pick any up. Shit, I wanted some honey. I'd be more concerned about the fresh made egg salad as opposed to the tuna salad. Mark says, how about when they write their own vows? Some are as long as War and Peace. Yeah. See, these kids did not, and I think that's probably the difference between young and old. Like, and I'm considering my age old. Like, if you're 40 and getting married, you're probably like putting thought into it and blah, 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 blah. When you're 22, it's like, I'm just going to Google something and like, oh, this is the vow. Like, at 22, like, I don't think we did vows. I think we just picked out of a book. See? You don't even remember. And I've only been married 6 years? Doing the math here. 6 years. I've already forgot about the ceremony. I remember breaking glass because I'm a man. I don't change my own oil, but I break my own glass. Card hobbyist, my family is Catholic. I'm used to weddings taking half. Oh, yeah. If it's a Catholic, I will skip a Catholic wedding. We're just going to the reception. No Catholic weddings. Oh, no Catholic weddings. Let's see. Max says, I take it you or your family was never churchy. Nope. Grew up and still am. Catholic ceremonies are an hour to an hour and a half average. Yes. In fact, if it's a Catholic wedding, like I just said, if it's a Catholic wedding, I skip it. So I grew up non-practicing. We belonged to the Methodist Church, which are fast weddings. 20 minutes tops. So no. And I think I learned early, like, oh, this is a Catholic wedding. Skip it. Just gonna skip straight to the reception. Zach and Porter says, from some Bo viewers, the wedding is the preamble of his show with the reception being his topic. For others, flip that. Right. It's very good. Very good. Tracy, good morning. Johnny Cash. There's Uncle Rich. Good morning to you. Flawed Thinker says, good morning and go Redskins. Make sure you make the I in a 1 in light. There you go. So, Merle, are you still here? So redlight34 at Gmail, correct? But the I it's just like his name on the screen. You see redlight34, but the I in light is a 1. So that's his email address at gmail.com. So there you go. Uncle Rich says, man, I missed a music chat. That's almost good as a food chat. I'm sorry. Sorry, Uncle Rich. You're tardy. You missed out on the fun stuff. All Bo needs to talk about is how were the hors d'oeuvres at the wedding and the cake and the main course any good? Oh, okay. So I didn't talk. So the taco truck was amazing. The hors d'oeuvres, they did have some of those like wraps. What do they call, like pinwheels or something? Those are okay. Those are good. They're just a traditional hors d'oeuvre. I was drinking beer and talking. That's what I do. The funny thing is, so it's very strict. Like the is dichotomy the correct word? I don't know. But the difference in small town to where, you know, especially in Madison's very, like, I don't know, it's just different here. Like, everybody smokes cigarettes where I'm from. Nobody smokes cigarettes here. Like, you go to a bar in Anawan and there's a crowd of people outside on the sidewalk smoking ciggies. You go to a bar in Madison, and it's just an empty sidewalk. And when you see somebody smoking a cigarette outside of a bar in Madison, you're like, whoa, there's a smoker. So it's very different. So, but I enjoy stepping outside with other people who smoke because I don't like crowds indoors. I don't really like crowds outdoors either, but it's a smaller one outside. So I like to just get away, and it's like I'm going to go get some fresh air surrounded by a bunch of cigarette smoke. So that's what I was doing. I was not eating hors d'oeuvres. I was breathing in secondhand smoke and drinking some Bud Lights. The cake, I did have a piece of cake. Oh, it was good. See, normally I'm not a dessert guy. But I did have a piece of cake. It was pink. And even though I'm a man, I was wearing a pink shirt though. I had some pink cake. It was really good. It was really good. It was like very airy, very airy. I don't know what kind of cake it was, but it was delicious. Uncle Rich says, who wants to hear about new products? Too many people will tell you have weak, at least my jumbo pack was. The player selection and base update is they no longer put the better players in the all-star game in the base set, but now an insert set. Aha. I didn't even, I didn't find any Topps update while I was out and about on Friday. Max says, Rich, 'twas a taco truck. First wedding that also stocked a 12er of porta shitters outside the venue. That is a great story. I'll have to listen to the whole episode later. Sans port. Yeah, there was not porta shitters outside, but there was a taco truck. I would assume with taco truck, the men's room was a pretty popular place an hour or so after the dinner. See, I left fairly early. Like, I was out at 8:30. But I mean, it was an early. So the wedding started at 3, and the reception started right after, like 3:30. So we probably had dinner at like 5:30. I don't know. But it was like, we looked at the clock and it's like, it feels like it's not, it's one of those, because it's October, it's getting dark early. We look at the clock and it's like, it's only 6:20. And it's like, oh man, it feels like 9. It's like, I'm going to be turning in early tonight. But that's good. Because there's nothing worse than a wedding that starts at 3 and the reception starts at 6. Because receptions never start on time, especially when you break it up. And again, in my small town, typically when that happens, it's like a 3 or 4 o'clock wedding, reception starts at 6, and the wedding party is on a party bus, booze cruising, and they show up a half an hour late to the reception, and then they do all their bullshit. And then we finally eat at like 7:30. And it's like, I'm fucking hungry. So at least I like the boom, boom, wedding reception, bam. We don't have any time for delays in between. You've got hors d'oeuvres. You're already there. Hors d'oeuvres, boom, boom, boom. Love it. So that worked out well. Rich says the Bears have some serious issues and some serious competition for the worst NFL team. I recognize that week 1 against the Packers. It's like, this is not the team I thought it would be. Not the team I thought it would be. And this team does have, at that time, I didn't think they would win a game. Somehow they beat Washington. But I don't know if they'll win another game this year. Carolina also looks pretty bad, which is good because the Bears get their number 1 pick in the draft. So realistically, the Bears could have the top 2 picks, the number 1 and number 2 overall pick in the draft. Flawed Thinker says, had a card up for sale for a couple months now, and 2 people messaged me the same morning for better picks. One guy asked what I would take. I replied, offer. I was asking 50 and he offered 25. That's kind of a typical go 50%. I responded with 30. He declined it. Not even 15 seconds later, I get an offer from the other guy for $45. There you go. It's funny. I mean, eBay, that's just how it works. And so, that card may have, I don't know, there may have been some trigger that, I don't know who it was. Did you say? You didn't say. But it could have been in the news, or for whatever reason, it could have been put at the top of a search, and all of a sudden people are buying. Jordan, Corey Seager, Evan Carter, Drew Thorpe. Names of baseball players. Dan says, was waiting for the maybe 20. Brown shoes and brown socks are not cool anymore. You need some colorful socks. I do have colorful. So, like, my brown socks are not just brown. They're like, there's like weird stuff. There's like, I'm just wearing white Puma socks today. But they're like I don't know, socks that, what the hell are they? Not crazy socks. I don't know what they are, but yeah, they're the designed ones. Although the black socks that I was wearing were just plain black socks. Have Chat GPT write your vow. There you go. There you go. Dan's in the house. Good morning. Made it to my first card show in weeks yesterday. Picked up a nice bulk purchase of about 20,000 cards. Hit up a dime box and pulled 1,100 cards from one dealer. Very nice. Very nice. Love the bulk deals. Matt, good morning. I have a 2020 Panini Prism Gems Insert SSP Acuna PSA 9, and I'm having troubles finding a value to ask for it. Not many I can find any info. Well, let's see. Is there any on eBay? See, I'm not familiar with that card. I'm not really familiar with that market, nor am I familiar with slabs, so I'm not really a good person to ask. I just go to eBay. 2020 Prism Gems Acuna. See if there's any Ronald Acuna Jr. 2020 Prism Gems case hit PSA 10. So there's a 10 that's listed for $130. There's another 10 listed for $135, and those are list prices. So less than 125, 130. So I don't know. I think a good price to list it would be 100 and open offers and certainly take a best offer. Is there any solds? And now's kind of a downtime to move it. Oof. So 2020 Panini Prism Ronald Acuna Jr. Gems PSA 9 sold for $27. That was also at auction. What did I say about auctions? Auctions suck. So I think there you go. It's somewhere between 30 and 100. So somewhere in there. Harlan says, got married in a Methodist church, door to door, 19 minutes. Love it. Love it. Herman says, me and the wife had a small wedding with generic vows when we got married 30 years ago. We wrote our own when we did a renewal on our 20th anniversary. Very cool. Hall of Fame collector says, did you break the hymen along with the glass? LOL. Flawed Thinker says, my parents talked about us joining a church multiple times, but Sunday football won every battle. There you go. I don't think every once in a while we would go on like a holiday, like Easter a couple times, Mother's Day a couple times. But that was about it. Max says, oh, yuck. I'd rather be in a room with wall-to-wall people for a week straight than 5 seconds outside with a bunch of smokers. That's what I don't miss about college. See, I grew up with it, so it's just second nature to me. I don't like it. I hate cigarette smoke, but I tolerate it in some scenarios. Am I correct to picture you stepping out with Uncle Jack to secondhand smoke? Not anymore. So Uncle Jack has cancer and he has a trach, so he can't smoke. Back in the day, yes. But Uncle Jack and I were just milling about in the back corner of the room, taking it all in, drinking our Bud Lights. Merle says, at least socks that don't have the Packers logo on them. Absolutely. That sounds like a terrible sock. Is it possible to go full-time strictly selling low-end volume? Absolutely, it's possible. I did it and am doing it. I'd be careful recommending it, but is it possible? Absolutely. Absolutely. If the wedding was in Wisconsin, I guarantee someone was wearing Packer socks. It was in Illinois. Now, the father of the groom is a Packers fan. I don't think he was wearing Packer socks, though. Father of the groom, Packers fan. Matty Matt says, not any on eBay, and the one is the one I bought, the PSA 9. So the 27. So there's no PSA 9s, but there's some PSA 10s. List for 70% of the 10, take 50% of the 10. Or raw plus grading fee plus a couple bucks. That was the one he bought. So it's probably worth more than that because it was an auction. Let's see, a PSA 10 of that Acuna Gems sold on Golden for $28 in May. Let's see. TD Sports Cards, what's going on? Good morning. Herman hasn't had a cigarette since September 3rd. Congrats. My cousins, the mother and father of the groom both quit smoking about a month ago, I think. And so congrats. Very cool. Value Box Digger, has the increased sales been an increase in previous listed cards, or is it a majority of the new product? I'm just curious if it was more profitable weekend per se, or a more traffic new buyers to sort. So we're going to get to that. So let's just get that now. Max, going back to Matty Matt, make up your own comps. And if you're going to use Golden on low end stuff, there you go. So here we go. Impact of new product on eBay sales. So I listed Bowman Platinum. About every day last week, my sales were off, down. I listed new product on Friday. Was it Friday or was it Thursday? I think it was Friday. Bowman Platinum. My sales were Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Bleh. All of a sudden, Friday, Saturday. Now, Sunday was down, but Friday, Saturday, huge uptick in sales because of the new product impact. Now, you're probably asking, like Value Box Digger says here in the question, was it new product or was it previously listed, stale-ish inventory? Well, obviously, sales were on both, but there was a higher percentage of old stale or old inventory that was being moved. I had more sales than previous. You could say, well, it's the weekend. There's more sales on the weekend. That's not always the case. Saturdays typically tend to be a pretty slow day at certain times. Now, let's just go back and compare previous Saturdays. So this Saturday, let's see, what's this Saturday? Last Saturday, October 7th, was a pitiful sales day. The Saturday before that, just as pitiful. Saturday before that was actually pretty decent. The Saturday before that was really high, and I think that would have been coming off. Was that coming off the big show? I can't remember. But so it's not just based on weekend sales. Carlo does vintage. What's up? Good morning. So yeah, the impact of new product, because it drives in people. And why does it drive old sales? Well, it drives in traffic. You put a new product up, and so the product in question was Bowman Platinum, which, many people say, oh, it's terrible for resale. It's, ROI is awful. It is a week later. And but the first few days, boom, everybody wants it because most people don't buy it. So there's not much out there. It's kind of like a year ago or 2 years ago, I was selling a lot of commons, junk wax in my eBay store. Why? Because nobody was listing it on eBay. And I think a lot of those buyers are people that just aren't familiar with, they're not familiar with sport lots. They're not familiar with, other avenues of buying common cards, but they're familiar with eBay. Now there's been a rush, with our Ricoh scanners and Car Dealer Pro. There's been a big, a big uptick in volume sellers on eBay listing a lot of that junk. And so now that instead of just being a few sellers on eBay, now there's many sellers on eBay. People are still buying, but they're finding it from multiple sellers for whatever reason. It could be, well, they had a higher promotion rate, or they saw it on this website or that website. You know, there's multiple ways to funnel that money. So a similar amount, you know, probably not a year ago, probably not the same amount of money is being spent on cards as a year ago. But there's still money being spent on those. And you know, you may be thinking, well, my sales are way down. And that's why there's just more competition. So people looking for Bowman Platinum, there's not as many sellers, especially on the first day of release. You have it in your store, boom, people are going to come, and they may, you know, find other stuff, or they may not even, they just see Bowman Platinum. Oh, I'm going to check this out, and then find other stuff in your eBay store, whether it's through cross promotion within your listings, or just, I'm going to click what else he has. Oh, I'm going to buy this, this, and that. And I saw a large uptick in older inventory being moved from the previous week to 10 days than I had. And I, you know, largely, I think it's largely impacted by the new product. And I'll see more of that this week with Topps Pro Debut. I've got a case coming. Hopefully I get it on release day, and I can pump that on eBay, and I'll see more of an uptick in sales. And I always say, what's not selling is knowing what is not selling is just as important as what is selling. And what I mean by that is, we often say, your 89 Topps Jose Canseco sold. That doesn't mean 89 Topps Jose Cansecos are going to sell. When you see on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, people are like, look at this common Shannon Sharpe Mosaic football, it sold. And people are like, oh, I'm going to go buy Shannon Sharpe Mosaic cards. Doesn't mean it's going to sell. It can be an older card. I don't think I have any older cards, do I? It can be an older card. I got some Topps Gallery over here. 2020 Topps Gallery. Just because it sells doesn't mean, you know, that could have been sitting in my eBay store for 2 years and just it happened to move. You know, I love showing off the Brian Taylor sales, or Dan McGuire, or Browning Nagel. And a lot of that stuff sits in my eBay store for months and months at a time, but it's a win when it sells. But it may take a year. So it doesn't mean, like, if you list Browning Nagel and Dan McGuire, it's just going to sell in the next couple days. Also be cognizant of what, and that's the importance of, well, what's not selling. How fast is it selling? Kind of goes the other way in this, you know, we often, and I've seen it a lot more within the last couple of weeks. My eBay sales are down. I'm seeing it in the Hobby Evolution Facebook group. I'm seeing it all over Twitter, other Facebook groups. My eBay sale, anybody else's eBay sales are down. Why are my eBay sales are down? What that tells me is, well, people aren't buying cards right now because everybody's eBay sales are down. It seems everybody, I'm using terms loosely. I don't mean every single eBay seller of trading cards are down. I'm just using everybody, nobody has, generally speaking. But we also have to look at what is selling. We also have to look at when sales are up. You know, I think all of us, I have a number that I want to hit every day. And if you're doing consistent selling on eBay, you should also have a number in mind. This is where I want to be or need to be on a daily basis. And if you're missing that mark multiple days and you're like, hey, what's going on? Why am I not making sales? That's important. But what's also and equally important is when you're crushing it, what's the reason? Because that's not normal. Like there's a normal based on the items you have listed, the content of your inventory, and your number of sales. It's all correlated. And so when your sales are way up here, that may be an outlier. If they're way up here, that is an outlier. Just like when they're down here, that's an outlier. And we always ask, why are my sales down? But rarely do we see people like, my sales are crazy. Why are my sales so crazy? Maybe we're asking you that internally, But that's just as important. When your sales are crazy, that's not normal. But I think wishful thinking, we want that to be the normal. But it's not. Kind of like during COVID. What did I do? I sold. There were people that were like, oh no, this is the new normal. Cards are going to be this hot forever. And a lot of people that said that, guess what I don't see anymore? Them tweeting about baseball cards. So just be cognizant of your sales all the time. You know, there's a baseline, but when we go up over that baseline, what's moving the needle? My sales were really high this weekend. Why is that? And I think the impact of that new product, even though it's only 4 blasters worth of Bowman Platinum, I sold a lot of Bowman Platinum, but I also sold a lot of older inventory, more so than what I had been selling the previous couple of weeks. So what that tells me is that the new product impacted other inventory within my store. And so that's important to know when we do have successful sales days, the importance and what led to that increase in sales. Just as important, equally as important is, okay, this stuff's not selling. You know, if you're only listing 90 Fleer and 91 Upper Deck and your sales keep dropping and you keep adding inventory, well, I can tell you why. You're listing inventory that nobody wants. Now, the first couple of weeks of October, I was listing a lot of good inventory. I'm talking autographs, cheap autographs. Yeah, it's not big names. And it's still not selling. But it was also predominantly baseball. So I knew baseball's not really selling right now. I need to pivot. If I want to add new inventory to turn over, I need to pivot away from baseball for the moment and start listing wrestling, football, and other stuff. Let's go to the comments real quick. Where we at? Carlo Does Vintage says, is there more than one hobby hotline on YouTube? Couldn't find the new episode you mentioned on Saturday. So the hobby hotline, I think somebody mentioned it. Hobby hotline is on the Bench Clear Media channel on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. There's a Tuesday show, but it's only like once a month, and it's on the Hobby Hotline channel. So I think it's the first Tuesday of the month. I don't know. But every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Central, and it's on Bench Clear Media. Value Box Digger says, is Sportlots truly cheaper after shipping anyway? I guess it depends. Like if you're only buying one card, probably not. But if you're buying, bulk and that's the thing. You can get it much cheaper on Sportlots if you find the right sellers of what you're looking for, if they have the right shipping. There's a lot that goes into it on Sportlots. If you find the right sellers, absolutely. But you have to put in a lot of work, and we are not really, this generation, even us older people, we don't want to mess around with, at least I don't. If I want a 1989 Ty Griffin card, it's like, okay, I go to Sportlots. If, I'm looking, okay, do I want to pay this much for it? I'm just going to go to eBay and buy it for $1.50. So, it may be $1.35 on Sportlots. So is it cheaper in some instances? Yes. But at the same time, it's like, oh, I got to create an account. I got to do this, that, and the other. But I think there's a lot of value in Sportlots. I think, yes, it truly is cheaper in certain instances, but sometimes you have to put a lot more work into it. Time is money, all that stuff. So is it? I don't know. Maybe not. Saturdays on Bench Clear Media. Zach and Porter says it varies by seller, but my experience, yes, Sportlots is a better deal. It just requires more work to maximize there you go. It just requires a little more time and effort in finding those sellers that have what you're looking for. 50 card sale weekend of not new product might be more profitable than a 100 card sale weekend of new product because it was more spent versus now. That's true. In my example from this weekend, I made far more than my, I had a big profit on Bowman Platinum, Had what I spent $105 on the 4 blasters, and my gross sales were 275, somewhere around there. So, after fees and shipping and all that, it's still going to be a net profit. Plus, it drove in traffic. Now, is that always going to be the case? No. But I think it's important to know that new product definitely has a big impact on your eBay inventory, new and old. When you rip a new product, you list all the commons or just the number, everything, man. I list everything. So, in fact, when I listed the Panini Mosaic, every single card from that rip in my eBay store. Bowman Platinum, every single card minus the 4 Cubs went into my eBay store. Let's see. Value Box Digger says, that's why I was curious how much older inventory moved. I got bored the other night, and after making some listings, I almost opened my 05 Bowman box I just bought for my PC. I was looking up Verlander rookies and was like, I wonder what's hidden inside. There you go. And see, I'd be curious, and I don't know the sealed wax. I don't really keep sealed wax. I forgot. I have a 2016 Topps Update Mega Box case that's just sitting on a shelf. And I just realized I had it a couple days ago, and I'm like, I wonder what those boxes are selling for. And they're listed for like a decent price, but they're not selling. So it's like, I'm just going to keep them in there. So I don't really know sealed wax. So I'm curious, like what's an 05 Bowman box sell for sealed as opposed to what's inside. Verlander's probably, one of the only decent selling cards in that product, I would think. Andy Max says, many times the people complaining about sales are also the ones who have bad photos, stale inventory, or other things that are clearly contributing. High prices is usually the biggest contributing factor to slower sales. You have to put more effort into selling stuff. Absolutely. It's not like Andy makes that last sentence, man, could not be more truthful. You have to put more effort into selling stuff. It's not like 2 years ago, a year ago, you could put 91 upper deck commons and you'd move a bunch. And now you have to be strategic. You can't just list cards. Everything doesn't sell on eBay. Everything does sell on eBay. Everything doesn't sell on eBay. So now, yes, you have to be more strategic in what you list. You can't just, maximize your listings and be like, oh, I've got all these listings and sales are going to come flowing in. Just not how it works anymore. Ken hearts the sport lots. Now here's the thing. I've been on a buying rampage the last few days because I've been finding deals at auction. And now I've been organizing my Cubs. I've been starting to organize my Cubs into player, more so not like every player, but like Ernie Banks, Ryan Sandberg, Santo, Grace, Bryant, Rizzo, Baez. And now I know what I will end up knowing what I need. And I'll probably be shopping at Sport Lots quite a bit in 2024 as I surpass 1 million Cubs cards and focus more on filling in holes in my collection, which I'm going to be, I was just thinking this as I was sorting cards and finding hits and, I have duplicates of this. So I should hit 1 million. It's October. Maybe I won't hit 1 million by January by Cubs convention, but I am going to get this, buy a Pelican case or a Zion. I think it's a Zion case is what I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy a Zion case. And I am going to go to the Cubs convention. And I think I'm going to host like an impromptu trade night. And I just want to trade Cubs of like my duplicate. I know I have multiple Justin Steele first chrome autos. I've got some tobacco cards that I, bought another one because, it's a good price. I probably don't have it. Oh, I do have it. I've got some duplicate Ernies. So looking to trade to fill holes in my Cubs collection and like, I need that card. Let's trade. Which I'm looking forward to it. And as my Cubs collecting evolves. for the past how many years? 6 years? Yeah. That's a good correlation. I got married and started my 1 million Cubs project in the same year, 2017. The Cubs, I hoarded Cubs for the last 6 years. And now it's like, okay, do I need 7 Justin Steele first chrome autos? No. I can use that and trade one for a first chrome auto of a player I need, or an Ernie Banks serial numbered card of some modern thing. I can trade. I'm looking forward to that new chapter in my Cubs collecting. So first, I've got to get a little more organized. Once I get like enough Cubs duplicates that are like tradable, then I'll buy a Zion case, and hopefully by Cubs convention, I can do a little impromptu. I'll take my little Pelican case out to spring training. Hopefully there's a card show when I'm out there. Value Box Digger says, for those with slow sales, I would also ask, what's your shipping? Because I am looking for a specific $5 card right now, but everyone on eBay has shipping bubble mailer on it. That is a big problem. I think slow sales, I don't think shipping is as impactful right now on slow sales. I just think there's a lot going on, and there's never one, unless it's like a huge world event. There's not really one thing that affects, especially when it comes to baseball cards sales. I think that we always blame the algorithm. That certainly has something to do with it. First look at your own stuff. If you're baseball centric, right now is one of the worst times to sell baseball cards. It's October. People say, well, the playoffs. But the playoffs, you're only going to sell players that get really hot. And there's only going to be like 1 or 2 of those players. And there's thousands of players and cards. So you start seeing that dip in October during the playoffs. And then, of course, student loan payments kick back in, I think, this month. Just worldwide news events, economy. The economy isn't, and that's the thing we always, it's the economy. It's like, no, your sales aren't going to drop 50% in a day because of the economy. Like, that's like a disaster. Like, something huge is going to cut your sales in half in a night. The economy's not going to significantly drop your sales. Now, is it a factor? Absolutely. But it's not like a main factor in that sense, where it's like all of a sudden your sales get cut in half. Flipping Sports Guy, good morning. Listening from the airport today on the way to a work conference. That sounds maybe fun. Some work conferences suck. Some are awesome. Johnny M, what's up? Good morning. There are now more low-end card sellers on eBay than ever before. Absolutely. Part of that is all due to the YouTubers. I have started listing auctions on Sportlots again. Ken Hart's Sportlots auctions. And I think, going back to Johnny's comment, there are a ton of low-end card sellers, thanks to Card Dealer Pro, thanks to the Rico feed scanners, YouTubers getting the word out. Like, hey, I quit my job. I'm doing cards full time. And a lot of people want to do that. And I've said this many times in the past year, I would not do it right now. If I had waited, if I didn't go into cards full time 2 years ago when I did it and I was working in the office, I would not make the transition. I would just stay working in the office right now. And that's not to deter people from entering the market, but it's soft. And it's soft because there's a lot more competition out there. And there's a lot less demand than there was 2 years ago or even a year ago. So if you do want to sell cards full time, that's why it's more important than ever to treat it as a full-time job while being employed full time and tracking your numbers on a daily basis, because that's going to be critical to your success and failure. Let's see. Value Box Digger says, you have a lot of cards when you forget you have a case of cards. Yes, that is true. That is very true. Robert, good morning. Have a question. I have the 8170 and I'm having no luck scanning Chrome. Any suggestions? So I scan Chrome, and I don't know what my settings are. Let's see if we can go. Let me see if I can show my screen, because I have success scanning Chrome. It takes longer. Like, it doesn't feed them through. Sometimes it'll feed a few through at a time, but sometimes it's just one at a time, and I have to just keep clicking continue. Sometimes the images are dark. There's ways. I'm lazy about it. I just let it fly. I know there are ways to lighten it up. Let's see if I can present this. Window. There we go. So this is what my settings look like in ClickScan. So image mode, I've got color, resolution, 300 DPI. Paper size is letter. I do both sides. Continuous scan, I've got automatic. We're going JPEG. Let's go into the advanced settings. Let's see here. You know what? I've got a lot of windows. Oh shit. Okay. I need to hide that so we can see. Okay. So here we go. Where's my ClickScan? There we go. Okay. So we go to advanced. So I don't know if any of this. So image mode, we don't have any change. Feeder, both sides. I don't know. Can you see, or do I have to move? 300 DPI, letter, carrier sheet. So those are some of the advanced settings. I don't know if that helps. I don't know if you could see that. Hopefully you could. Flawed Thinker says, I got mine at auction for $80, but they sell between $150 and $200. Zach and Porter says, as soon as I see a card is being shipped at $4.95, I move on. Same. Nothing I buy warrants that a PWE would sell faster for lower end market that I swim in. I also like, if I see a card. So I was on eBay last night, just looking at different things, looking at auctions. Especially if it's an auction and they charge $5 for shipping, you know damn well if that sells for 99 cents. In most cases, that person is not shipping it in a bubble mailer. So I just know to avoid, like, if it's $1 card, like, I don't want to pay for a bubble mailer. Like, I'll pay $1 and they can send it 63 cents in a stamp, in the ESE. But I'm not paying $6 for this card that I only want to pay $2 for. Like, send it in a damn plain white envelope. And I think in many instances, if it sells for, less than what they want, they're going to send it in a plain white envelope to pad their profits. And it's like, well, I'm not going to pay $6 for a $1 card, $2 card. Value Box Digger, I tell you where cards are selling from what I hear. Dallas, a friend is going down there every other month, and it's worth the cost of the trip across the country. That's some good sales. He sells dollar boxes, has some cases with $100 to $200 cards, not these huge 10K cards. Yeah. And the thing is, there's not a big market for 10K. There's a very slim market for 10K cards. They're flashy, but they don't move. $100 to $200 cards, that's a real nice sweet spot. A lot of dealers like that I know and do card shows with, they'll make 10K in a weekend. In a day at a show, moving like volume of $100 to $500 cards. And usually most of them are $100, $200 cards. That's like where the sweet spot is on moving that inventory. Zach and Porter says, Jenny, be mindful that it is human nature to convince others that the action they are taking is worth the cost. We only hear the wins, not the losses. That's very true. You might enjoy TCDB trading as well once you figure out what holes you have in your player collections. I find it a good way to pick up some oddball releases I don't have. And that's a really good point, because I have a lot of oddball releases and probably duplicates that collectors would be looking for. So that's a great point. So that's like the next chapter of my Cubs journey. Like, well, what are you going to do when you hit 1 million? Well, I'm organizing and filling in holes. And I'll be probably be looking to trade again. I don't know how much I want to trade because it can be a time suck. Right now I stopped doing trades about a year ago probably 2 years ago when I started doing cards full time, because the cards people want were my inventory. Now Cubs are not my inventory. So I'm more likely to trade, the Cubs cards that I have duplicates of. And I'll be organized so I'll know where they're at. Like right now, it's like, oh, I collect this and this. It's like, well, I have that somewhere. I just have to find it. And I don't want to spend time looking for it. Double A cards, good morning. Robert can see it fine. Flipping Sports Guy says, in my advanced settings, I saved a profile, Chrome Prism, and tried to brighten it up. I always forget to switch it, though. After I say, screw it, it doesn't matter. And that's the thing. I mean, on a lot of low-end cards, like pictures are not, like if it's a $500 first Chrome auto, I want to make sure, I'm not going to scan it. I'm going to take pictures in a photo box, or I don't know, on a binder or something, and, make sure every corner, get the angle. So if there's a small scratch, it shows up, and there's always a small scratch. I just want to say, yes, there's a scratch on it. Let's see. Robert says, thanks so much. I will try all those. Appreciate the help. You betcha. Talking Tati says, Kim Ng is out as general manager of the Marlins. That's interesting. Because, I mean, they made the playoffs. Yeah, they got beat in the opening round, but that's an interesting move. So that's what I had for today. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, visit my eBay store. I've like almost sold out. Max says she declined. Oh, okay. So was it like her contract was up and she decided to go somewhere else? Okay, that makes more sense. Team exercised. Okay. So hit up my eBay store. Not much Bowman Platinum left, surprisingly. Now, I did hit Walmart on my way back from the wedding yesterday. I'm like, I'm gonna see if they have what they have at Walmart in a foreign land, the foreign land of Illinois. And they did have some blasters of Bowman Platinum. It's like, I've got a lot of shipping to do. I opened my Bowman Platinum on Friday. Sales are probably going to be, we're coming out of the weekend, going into some of the slower days of the week, Monday, Tuesday. Like, I think I'm good. So I did not restock the Bowman Platinum. And I've got Pro Debut coming this week. NYC Life, what's up? I do eBay as part-time. I have 4,500 listed, a lot low end with some higher end, but nothing over $100. My eBay sales dropped from 2K to 1K, so a huge decline in sales. Yep. And that's, I think you're going to see that this time of year. I don't know what your inventory is. Is it baseball? You're probably going to see that because this is the slowest. I would say arguably October is the slowest month in baseball sales. Followed by November. You'll start to see kind of a holiday uptick at the end of November, and then December, it kind of comes back up. And then by mid-January, we really start to see the preseason speculation bump occur. So yeah, why are your sales down? And sometimes, like last week, the first 2 weeks of first 10 to 12 days of October, my sales were not quite 50% of what they had been running, but they were down significantly. It's like this, I hope this isn't the new normal, but this is October. I am baseball centric. It's just part of the game, the ebbs and flows. It just is what it is. Probably headed to Boston. Oh, there you go. Could be. Alrighty then. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, visit my eBay store, all that good stuff. Have a great Monday. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.-ish Central, because I'm on a schedule like a subcontractor. I'm always behind. So have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.